take that step of saying, you know what, the first principle of the day, the first thing we do is we manage what we have. We go, right, what do I need to finish off? What do I need to tidy up? What do I need to water? What do I need to take care of?
Yeah.
Then we can go about multiplying, right?
Yeah.
We can go, okay, now I can look at, right, now that I know these projects or these things are being taken care of, that I'm actually taking care of what I already have, now I can go about multiplying it, making more. And it's once we've done that, that's the right time for amplification, because, and I think it's really important to talk about this, because we live in a world that's really obsessed with hearing the big, loud story about success.
Yes.
Hearing the big, loud story of, woohoo, first home buyer, you got your first house, well done.
Yep.
But we're not very good at telling the stories of the day-to-day hard graft of managing and multiplying the resources to get to being able to buy that first house.
Yep.
And it's the same in business. It's the same with relationships, all the things. So it's really important to have a good attitude and understanding of the steps you have to take to get to being able to amplify. And I'm sure we've all encountered those people who, whether it's a LinkedIn post, a social media post, or just in day-to-day conversation, are rushing to tell you about their success, rushing to amplify the thing that's going on, the thing that's going to make them sound amazing. But actually behind the scenes, there's 1,000 plates spinning and 999 crashing. And so it's really important that if you want to be genuine, if you want to be authentic, and if you want that amplification to really have a long-lasting meaning, you need to do the managing and the multiplying first, so that the amplification actually rings true when people hear it.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing. So, we can break this.
Can I just summarize and see if I've got the right end of the stick on this one, Tash? So first of all, we're saying, hey, let's assess what we've got. And I suppose longer term, we may have a plan on where we need to be. So if we've got a plan on where we need to be, well, what have we got to start with? And what needs to happen between now and where we want to be to multiply the resources that we have, so we've got enough to be able to amplify that? It's what have I got? Where do I want to be? What do I need to do to get there? Is that similar model?
Yeah, pretty close. I'd even make it a little bit more. I'd even make it a little bit more human and a little bit more soft, which is to say, what's the story that I want to tell? Based on the story that I want to tell, okay, what do I need to take care of in terms of what I have? Because the more that I take care of what I have and I nurture it, that's actually where that's where multiplication is actually more likely to come from, right? It's not like there's an old TV show called South Park, which I wouldn't recommend.
Not to my gran. I wouldn't encourage my gran to watch it, but it's full of great metaphors. Continue.
Full of great metaphors. And so the characters come up with a great scheme to make $5 million. The scheme is steal 5 garden gnomes. Step 1, steal 5 garden gnomes.
Okay.
Step 2,
sell them for $1 million each.
Have $5 million.
Okay.
There was no plan between step 1 and step 3. It just ended with an action that was unrelated to the outcome.
I see.
So I think part of that way of looking at, okay, how do I manage what I have? How do I look after it? And look, I've often, and maybe it's just growing up in conservative evangelicalism.
Yep.
I always thought about the story of the Proverbs 31 woman. I always thought about that in the context of, marriage and family. But actually, when you look at what is happening, this is a woman who gets up early. She takes care of everything that she has.
Yep.
Then she goes to work using that to multiply her resources. And then the amplification doesn't even happen by her talking about it. The amplification actually happens by everybody else talking about it. And it's a little bit the same with the parable of the servant and the talents, right?
Yep.
Where actually, you can take this approach of I'm just going to look after what I have and I'm just going to bury it away somewhere safe, or I'm going to manage it effectively and allow it to multiply and then actually reap the benefit of that. And that's really what amplification is at the end of the day. It's not boasting. It's not telling really loud success stories. It's receiving and understanding and being grateful for the blessing that can come from what happens actually when we manage and we multiply what we have really well. And that applies to attitude, to energy, to finance, to relationships, and to houseplants. Because again, I say, don't buy another houseplant until you're looking after the ones that you already have.
Yeah, no, that is so true. I'm never going to buy another houseplant. it's never going to be a good outcome for houseplants at my place. But I also love the story metaphor. How do you want this story to end? How do you, what do you want to be the happy ever after? Or what do you want to be the after picture from where you are at the moment in terms of your personal or business or spiritual transformation? Where are you at now? Be realistic about that. And how do you need to multiply the things that you have in order to be able to celebrate and to amplify your success story? Some absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. I'm just grateful you didn't need to say, put down that donut, go for a walk.
But do remember to brush your teeth.
Well,
Step number 1 in managing those important resources.
Exactly. No, very good advice. As always, Tash, a pleasure to chat. Have a great week. Thanks for joining us.
Cheers. Thank you.